And everyone, welcome to the Xperience. My name is Michael Lindenbaum, and we are brought to you by Spartacon. Spartacon, which is August 15th and 16th at the Regency Furniture Stadium in Waldorf, Maryland. Come see stars from the show Spartacus like Manu Bennett, Cynthia Day Robinson, Dan Fergal, and many others from the show. For more information, please visit redserpents.com, or if you're attending AwesomeCon May 29th through 31st, come to booth 46 and visit the people who are running the convention. Alright. And with me today, talking about AwesomeCon, is none other than my good friend Ben Taylor. Ben, how you doing today?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm alive.
How's your birthday celebration last night?
It was good. We went and saw Avengers: Age of Ultron, and then we did food and bowling and stuff.
You always gotta love doing stuff.
Yeah,
But
good.
But speaking about celebrating this weekend, next weekend is something that we've been looking forward to, which is AwesomeCon.
Yes.
And there's just so much stuff that we're going to be doing this weekend for this convention.
Typically, right as we start recording, they decide now is the best time to cut the grass outside. So I apologise to everybody who is listening, but you might be hearing a lawnmower in the background.
I can hear the lawnmower. But
I'll do my best to edit it out in post-production, but...
Yeah. but going back to AwesomeCon, because there won't be any grass cutting there, we have so many things going on. We're going to have people from Doctor Who, Power Rangers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Once Upon a Time, Star Trek. Ooh, we're going to have fun talking about Shatner later. I mean, you got comic book artists, voice actors, I mean... The list goes on and on. There's just so much to do at this convention. Ben, you're obviously there last year. I was there last year, and I believe you're there for the very first year of AwesomeCon, too?
Yep, I was there for the first year as well. The guy who owns AwesomeCon, Ben Penrod, is an amigo of mine. So, I was there for the first year as well.
And Ben has done an amazing job with this convention. I mean, look at what we've had to see him have to deal with these past couple weeks in regards to the photo ops being put out literally like almost 2 weeks before the convention, which was obviously not planned. You know, you just announced yesterday that Jason Mewes, who's Jay from Jay and Silent Bob and the Kevin Smith movies, is now only Friday, Sunday because of a filming commitment on Saturday. You've had the Doctor Who blunder with where you're supposed to have the entire Pond family. Now you only got 2 of them. So he's had to go for a lot, but I think he's done an amazing job of just trying to keep the ship sailing the right way.
That's the problem with booking people that are still working. They're always going to make more money off a television appearance than they are off of or a movie than they are off of coming to a convention. Because as much as they like doing it, they don't get residuals for appearing at a convention.
Yeah, but the one that was like the most surprising announcement had to be William Shatner, going from 1 day Sunday to 2 days of Friday and Saturday.
Yeah,
that was an amazing announcement, and that was a pure surprise.
Yeah, I don't know whether it was a surprise or not, but it was definitely a cool announcement. Contrary to popular belief, the Shat is all about his fans.
Yeah, and like I said, later on we're going to talk more about Shatner, and I know you have a story about William Shatner that you've told me before, and that you know we'll definitely talk about that. But you know what? Let's start kicking right into gear now. Let's actually start talking about some guests, and I think a good way to start will be something that you and I enjoy greatly. And that's WWE. Yep. Because on Friday, and this is a 3-hour only thing on Friday. So from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Friday.
This was a little bit disappointing.
Yeah, it was disappointing. But we're getting WWE Diva Natalya and the WWE World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins.
Yes.
I am excited.
The best part is knowing Ben and talking wrestling with him a lot, how much attention he's been paying to like the last couple of pay-per-views to see if Seth loses the belt.
Yeah, I love the announcement of when they announced Seth Rollins and Natalya, because they announced it the day of WrestleMania before Seth won the belt.
Yeah.
And I think that was the perfect timing.
I will say this, however. I'm a little bit disappointed that they're only there for like 4 hours each.
Yeah, from what I believe, it's
there Friday night.
Yeah, they're there Friday from 4 to 7, so they're only there for 3 hours. They start literally at 4 with the photo ops. Natalya is at 4. The duo photo op is at 4:15, and then Steph's at 4:30, and then they go right to signing autographs to, I believe, like 6:15, and then from 6:30 to 7 is their Q&A panel, and then they're gone.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's really disappointing to me.
It is disappointing,
especially when other conventions can book these people for entire weekends. And I don't know whether it's because Ben isn't Wizard, or if like there's something else going on.
Well, Wizard only gets them for one day.
But they get them for like the Saturday.
Yeah, they get them for the full Saturday, but they only get it for one day too, so... Because I met John Cena at like the Washington Auto Show, and he was only there for like 4 hours max. That was it, and then he was gone. So, that was a very unenjoyable meeting of John Cena, though. But that wasn't John Cena's fault. No, actually, it wasn't because I was meeting John Cena. It was because of the security people around John Cena.
Oh yeah,
they literally when I went to meet John Cena, I had a trading card, and I still have the trading card. Mm-hmm. The security guard almost ripped the card in half right out of my hand, and then pushed me into front of John Cena. Wow. That was just... But luckily, we're going to be at AwesomeCon for Seth Rollins and Natalya, and we're not going to have those issues. Because it's going to be... Yeah, hopefully not, but it's still going to be fun. I can't wait to meet Seth Rollins. I actually have the photo op for Seth. So, get to see the title, hopefully. But, yeah, hopefully he has the belt with him.
He plans to make it not a class ring. It looks like a class ring right now.
Yeah, it does, but I think that's the belt we're going to be stuck with for a good while.
Yeah.
But what are you most excited about when it comes to having Seth and Natalya there?
Absolutely nothing, because I'm not going to get to see them. I don't have time, and I'm not going to be able to go to their panel. So maybe the most exciting thing is my friend Joe gets to host their Q&A. How's that? Like Seth and Natalya, as much as I want to see them, have zero impact on my convention, because I'm not going to get to see them.
Yeah, and that's unfortunately one of the deals of, I guess, working a convention. There's no guarantees. Yep. But moving on, we also have Ralph Macchio, the Karate Kid.
Yep.
This one was a very interesting one for me, and because I've actually never seen the Karate Kid. Mm-hmm. And for me, having him there and never seeing the movie, I think makes it funnier. Because, I mean, some of the lines like wax on, wax off from the film, but never seeing it, I don't know. But it looks like he was recently cast in the film Hitchcock, which was about the movie Hitchcock, and the making of Psycho co-starring Anthony Hopkins. So he has been keeping up busy, but with his real true claim to fame being Karate Kid. Now, did you ever watch Karate Kid?
Yeah, I love Karate Kid. As a child.
You liked it as a job?
As a child.
Oh, child. All right.
The accent getting in the way there. The plain... Like, I've got to be honest here. Ralph Macchio has not been a factor in my life since I was, like, the first time I saw Karate Kid. From then on, I was just like, whatever.
But,
I know there are people that are very excited to see Ralph Macchio, but he's Ralph Macchio. I don't have thoughts about it one way or another.
Yeah. And then like I said earlier, there's just so many cast people that's going to be here. You got Jason Mewes from the Kevin Smith movies. Everyone knows him as Jay. Yeah, as I always put, the loudmouth who just curses every single word he says. But we're also going to have Buffy there. Now, I've never seen Buffy, but we got James Marsters, and we got Amber Benson there.
And Emma Caulfield as well.
And who was the other one?
Emma Caulfield.
Emma Caulfield, yes. Now,
she was. Yeah, there she is. She's still
coming. As we scroll on our tablets and computers trying to find all the guests.
I'm not sure she canceled them all, but she.
Yeah, no. Last I checked, the only one who really canceled was Karen Gillian from the Doctor Who.
There's been some cancellations. You've had Karen had to cancel. There was who else was it that? I'll look it up later.
I think Michael Tenenbaum was another one. Rosenbaum, yes, Rosenbaum. Yeah. But yeah, you're going to have 3 people from the show Buffy, but our good friends, the Carolyn and Joe podcast, are actually going to have Amber Benson as their special guest when they do their podcast live at AwesomeCon, which will be on Friday, May 29th from 4 to 5 p.m. at room 145A. Yep. So that will be a very interesting one because I believe that Amber also has her own Q&A. So that's going to be 2 opportunities where you get to see Amber talk about her career and stuff like that. And one will obviously also be put up on the air as a podcast through Carolyn and Joe. So that's really one of the cool things that's also going to be happening because you never know what type of panels, which we highly recommend you going to awesomecon.com and look up at the schedule. And speaking of the schedule, they also put up the maps for where also the vendors are. And I want to ask you, compared to the past 2 years of AwesomeCon and what you're seeing on the map for AwesomeCon this year, do you like the setup better this year for the vendors and celebrities?
You can never tell from maps, ever.
It's just one of those deals where you got to wait and see.
You got to see it in action.
Yeah, because I'm looking at it and I'm seeing that it could potentially be a lot better, especially with the way they have the celebrity setup and how they have the photo op set up now. Because last year for photo ops, you had to go from one side of the room to the other side of the room to get tickets and then get in line for the actual photo op itself. That was a little inconvenient, but from what I understand, they put it all together in one spot, and you got 3 photo ops booths. So they're going to be doing 3 different photo ops at the same time, which is going to be very nice and more efficient.
Yeah, I mean, a perfect example is Baltimore Comic-Con last year, right? Is if you looked at the floor map, you go, wow, this is going to work really, really well. But just something felt off about it. So,
yeah, but yeah, we'll wait and see. But from what I've seen, I'm hoping that it's a good setup. It looks like a good setup, and only time will tell when we get there.
You guys are hearing me type furiously in the background because I've just noticed that they've changed at the times of one of my panels, and it now conflicts with one of my others. So I'm having to send an email to AwesomeCon.
We're talking about AwesomeCon while emailing AwesomeCon.
Yes, pretty
much. That is the best way to put it. You know, I'm actually, and while you're typing and emailing AwesomeCon about the panels, which you will be announcing later on.
Yeah.
We have, now this is a movie that I actually enjoy. I actually just watched it earlier this week. We got 2 members of the cast from Starship Troopers, Dina Meyer and Casper Van Dien. I think that is going to be a very fun Q&A panel when you go to them, because it was just one of those movies that's literally a cult classic. And it kind of, in a way, makes no sense at sometimes, too.
Well, I mean, that's Starship Troopers through and through, even into the books.
But I still enjoy the movie, so I'm actually excited to be meeting Casper and Dina. And funny, interesting little tidbit, and this is for the Power Ranger fans out there, but if you watch Power Rangers Lost Galaxy and you watch Starship Troopers, the military combat uniforms are the same.
And you can say the same thing for Firefly as well in
Yep.
the train job.
Yes, because apparently all three of those were filmed at the same time.
No, it's just they.
No, Power Rangers Lost Galaxy and Starship Troopers were both filmed at the same time.
Yes, but Firefly wasn't. Starship Troopers was made in 1997.
Yeah, and that was around the time they started doing Lost Galaxy. And it's kind of funny how certain things will get recycled over like that.
I see. I'm wondering about this panel and how much it's actually going to be talking about Starship Troopers, and how much they're going to try and talk to people about, like, because wasn't Dina in Saw, one of the Saw movies? She was a thing in the Saw movies.
Looking it up right now.
And then,
yeah, she was Detective Alison Carey in the Saw franchise.
And then hasn't Casper Van Dien done other things as well?
He did the third Starship Troopers movie, and he was the producer on the CG.
He was Johnny Cage in the Mortal Kombat TV show. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pulling him up right now.
I was on Monk as well.
Let's see here. He formed his own production company with his wife called Holy Cow Entertainment.
Anyway, my point being, we could talk about this for every panel.
Yeah, there you go. Johnny Cage and the TV series Mortal Kombat Legacy.
I'm wondering how much there is going to be questions about Starship Troopers. I mean, like, how many times can people ask him about the shower scene, for example?
Yeah, everyone's... he's done two of them. He did it in the first film, and he did it again in the third film.
Yeah.
So it's like, really. And then, do you ever watch the show Mythbusters?
Yes.
Well, we're going to have a former Mythbuster, because he's unfortunately no longer with the show, but Grant Imahara is going to be there.
Imahara, yeah.
Yeah. That one, when I heard that they released Tory Grant and the other one...
They didn't so much release them. They went on to other things. Kari got her own show, I think.
Yeah, they're trying to give her own show.
Well, no, like, they're filming it, like, as we speak.
Yeah, and
I think someone said that Grant and Tori went to work for ILM on the Star Wars movies.
That wouldn't surprise me if at least Grant did.
Because he used to be ILM, didn't he?
Let me hop back in his profile. Yes. Yeah, he was. Before Mythbusters, Grant spent 9 years in special effects as an animatronics engineer.
ILM is Industrial Light and Magic, which is the special effects branch of Lucasfilm.
Yes. And he's also worked on such films as The Matrix sequels, Galaxy Quest, Terminator 3, Star Wars Episodes 1 through 3, although he is not responsible for Jar Jar, as they made very clear on the AwesomeCon page. And he put...
Yeah.
And then he put the lights in R2-D2's dome, and the Energizer Bunny his beat. Gotta love the Energizer Bunny. That one has survived much longer than most people thought it would.
Yep. It just keeps going.
going.
Well, I mean, outside of, like, the big names that you see listed, I mean,
there are so many smaller
people to talk about as well.
I am looking right now. It's like literally, I am on my tablet. I'm just scrolling through every
Jess Harnell's
name.
going to be there. That's going to be fun, because you're going to have Jess Harnell and Robert Paulson in the same room, which, for those of you who don't know, are Wacko and Yakko from the Animaniacs. You're going to have
Jim Cummings,
Turtle voices,
which is Rob Paulson. I have the list here. Rob Paulson, Barry Gordon, Cam Clark, and Townsend Coleman. Which you'll also have Kevin Eastman, who was the creator of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yep.
You'll have Brian T., who's playing Shredder in the second live-action film that is supposed to be coming out next year.
Now,
And you have Judith Hoag, who was the original April O'Neil in the first live-action film that came out in 1990.
Now, can you name which one of those four was each one without looking at it?
Oh, I hate you. I know Rob Paulson did the original Raphael, and he's currently Donatello on the new.
Donatello, yeah.
He's currently Donatello on the new one. You're testing my childhood horribly.
Cam Clark was Leonardo, Barry Gordon was Donatello, and Tanzel Coleman was Michelangelo. That's without looking at anything.
See, I'm just the little kid who just enjoyed watching the show. I only found out about Rob Paulson last year because he was doing Donatello, and funny thing, I even told this to Rob last year when I met him. Every time when I come home, at least like once a month, when I come home from work, I find a new Donatello thing in my room. And it's of the new series, not the old series. So I keep coming home, and all I have is just... I joked with him, all I have is just him in my room now. I have Donatello pillow, a Donatello stuffed plushie, a Donatello Build-A-Bear,
I was lucky
a Turtles trash can. So
last year at AwesomeCon, we were really, really busy. And I was lucky enough that the only famous person I got to talk to all weekend was Rob Paulson, right? And there was a 10-minute period at the very end of Sunday where we got to chat. I got to chat with him, and I'd done this sketch, which is the old Raphael and the new Donatello, and he signed it for me and everything, and I got it framed, and it's up on the wall and everything. That's kind of cool.
yeah, up on my wall I have a picture of Rob Paulson. It's a picture of him behind the microphone, and it has Pinky and the new Donatello in the picture.
Yeah, but what had happened, what I didn't know had happened earlier in the weekend, is my friend Matt had borrowed my phone, and he had gone and gotten Rob Paulson and Maurice LaMarche to record a voicemail message for me. So now my voicemail message is Pinky and the Brain.
Which is amazing.
Yeah. So if you ever call me and I don't pick up the phone, Pinky and the Brain are my answering machine.
Yeah, and it's actually funny that you bring that up because one of the people who's going to be at AwesomeCon, but you do not see on the website unless you look at the schedule, is voice actor and actor Wes Johnson, who also happens to be the PA announcer for the Washington Capitals. Now, Wes, for video games, has done Shiro Garaf, Lucian LeChance, Hermaeus Mora, and others in games such as Oblivion, Skyrim, Fallout 3. He was the series announcer. Yeah, does a lot of work with Bethesda. Well, Bethesda's like 20 minutes away from where I live, too, which is funny. He was the series announcer for America's Most Wanted. He's going to be having his Q&A panel on Saturday, May 30th at Saloon C from 4:45 p.m. to 5:45 p.m. So anyone who's interested in wanting to learn about getting into video game voice acting, especially locally, I would recommend going to his panel because he knows so many people in this area, the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, that he would be a good person to listen to, learn from, and even talk to. And he actually will do, just like for you with your voicemail where you have Pinky in the Brain, my voicemail is him doing the Caps announcing, but for others he does like his characters from Oblivion, characters from Skyrim, characters from Fallout. He will do that too for your voicemail message too, and it's really cool how the voice actors will willingly do that for you, because it's something that you wouldn't think of, and then gives your friends like a nostalgia kick at the same time. But I mean, and then we're also gonna have so many comic artists too, and comic book writers. Like we're gonna have Amy Chu's gonna be there. Let's see here, Billy Martin, who is also in the band Good Charlotte. Let's see here, you got Box Brown, Brenda Hickey, Brian Tillman.
Ben Templesmith is going to be there. He's a fairly big name. You can't forget to talk about Franco. He's going to be there. You guys might know him from like Tiny Titans and stuff. Jerry Duggan, currently co-writing Deadpool. Gotta give a shout out to my boy Jamal Nichols. He's another wrestling fan. Not a big name, but he's my friend, so I gave him a shout out.
You got Justin Jordan's going to be there.
Yeah. Jerry Gaylord, who is the current artist on the Bill and Ted comic. Jonathan Luna, one half of the Luna Brothers.
Penelope Gaylord's going to be there, along with Rafa Roberts, Reverie Comics. So many. Jeff Schultz will be there. Sora Shibao. I think I said her name right.
Galant's going to be there. I mean, Tom Zala's going to be there. Tom King is going to be there. Tom Rainey. Lots of Toms. Tom.
Definitely lots of Toms. And then, not only that, but you're also going to have, cosplayers like Yuffie Bunny, Anna Mia, Jennifer Rose. I'm finding this one specific one because I don't want to mess up his name, but Ruby Renixo, or Planet Ruby as he goes by. So you're going to have some cosplay guests as well.
See.
And this is where I'm going to let you just go.
Now bear in mind, I am the executive producer of a show called Viva La Cosplay. I am all about cosplaying. I love people who cosplay. I don't get it. I don't see why we need 5 cosplay guests.
I think it's only 4.
It's 5. You have Annie Mia, Intraventus, Jennifer Rose,
Intraventus,
Ruby Renesco, and Yuffie Bunny.
Well, I know Ruby and Jennifer come as a duo because they're the husband and wife cosplay couple.
But it's still 5 guests. It is 5 individual people. Right?
Yes.
I mean, call me crazy, but it's just, I don't know. I know that there is a world for cosplaying out there. I get that. And when I look at the schedule, right, it's like I'm trying to find things that they're doing other than sitting at their table. And
well, I know that Jennifer and Ruby, I believe, are actually doing the cosplay contest. I believe they mentioned to me because I've actually reached out to a few of them for interviews at the convention, and that's what I've been told.
But that's like, if you are bringing people in, right, they should be sitting on panels and talking. Like, if you're flying people in and paying for them to be there, which is usually the definition of guest, right?
Right.
I would think that would be a thing, right?
Yeah, because you want to hear what inspired them to do what they did, and what else they want to do. Yeah, there are cosplay. I'm looking at the schedule. I'm just looking at one day. It shows cosplay panels, but it doesn't say who's involved with them directly.
It doesn't say who's involved in any of the panels.
Yeah, so it's kind of hard to judge on that because we don't know. I guess it's going to be like one of those wait and see deals when we find out.
But you would think that if you're bringing in these cosplayers you think are going to bring people through the door, you'd want to promote them on your panels. Say, hey, they're going to be on this panel, come see it.
Yeah. Let's see here.
I don't know, it's just a bit... It's a thing, okay?
But you know what? We're going to get you away from your fit, and we're going to talk about something that you love, and that's Doctor Who. because we're going to have Alex Kingston and Arthur Darville there.
Yep.
We're going to have 2/3 of the Pond family. Originally, Karen Gillian was going to be there, but unfortunately she had to bow out due to prior commitments.
She's got some film. There wasn't prior commitments.
Or not prior, but it was...
came up at the last minute.
Commitments that came up.
Yeah.
And of course, I love the Awesome Con post is like, when you meet them, what would you say to them? Why couldn't you be here Friday so my mom could meet you?
Yes.
My mom was so excited to meet them on the Friday because that's the only day she can come, but unfortunately,
none of
you know,
there.
Yeah. But you're still going to at least get 2 of them for Saturday and Sunday. And Ben, you know I'm not a Doctor Who fan. It's just something I never gotten into.
Yep.
Explain Alex Kingston and Arthur Darville to me, please. Explain to me what their characters were, who they are, and what significance the Pond family has had on the Doctor Who franchise. The Pond family
is pretty much everything that Stephen Moffat banked his entire Doctor Who career on, and it didn't work very well. That's just the point of it. It's really complicated. Like, it's just complicated. Suffice to say, they're 2 very, very, very popular characters from some of the most recent seasons of Doctor Who.
Alright.
Like, I could sit here and explain it, but that would be the entire podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, and we have many other guests and talk about. I mean, we'll get the Power Rangers, we'll get the Shatner later. I know that for a fact that actually also at AwesomeCon, my sponsor of my podcast, Spartacon,
yep.
They are presenting to AwesomeCon one of the stars of Spartacus, Jenna Lind, who played Kore in the final season, War of the Damned. She'll be available at the Spartacon table, which is booth number 46. And
sorry about all this background noise.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to read my little script piece that Spartacon gave me, and it's like, wow, I got that lawnmower in my ear now. But yeah, so Spartacon's presenting at AwesomeCon Jenna Lind, who played Kore in the final season War of the Damned. She'll be available at the Spartacon table, which is booth 46. She'll be signing autographs, taking pictures, answering questions. And then on Sunday, May 31st, from 2:15 to 3:15 at room 156 will be her Q&A session. I know that I will be a part of that Q&A session. I do not know what role I'll be playing in that Q&A session, but I will be there, and it will be fun, for one way or another.
Will you later or not?
Well, believe it or not, I'm going to have fun with that panel. And speaking about having fun with panels, let me grab it. On Saturday, May 30th, from 12:30 to 1:30 at room 103A, it'll be Pro Wrestling Today, Awesome Mania 3,
yep.
Which will be starring yours truly, Ben Taylor.
Yes, it'll be me. It will be convention owner Ben Penrod. It will be Mike Jones from DC 101. And my partner in crime for the pay-per-view post-mortem, Mansa Herndon, all sitting on a wrestling panel just talking about the state of wrestling.
And I'll just be kind of sitting in the crowd going, hi.
You can get to come up with, like, awkward questions.
Did you ever see that video I posted up on Facebook, the Japanese wrestling with the ballerina?
Yeah.
Yeah, gotta love Japanese wrestling.
Mansa kicked this kid's ass, and I was like, nope.
Hey Mansa, you want to take on the ballerina?
I don't know. It just, yeah, that's going to be a fun panel.
And it's an 18+ panel.
They listed it as 18+. I did not put 18+ in the original pitch, but Penrod's on the panel, and he knows me, and he's like, "You swear a lot."
Yes, you do, and I do appreciate you not cursing at all so far throughout this podcast.
I'm trying real hard, dude.
I know. I try
really hard.
I try to strive for PG-13. We'll let some things slip from time to time.
Well, it's PG-13. I can get away with a couple of S-bombs.
Yes. But in speaking about panels, we know you got the Pro Wrestling Today.
Yep.
What other panels are you doing at Awesome Con?
Okay, so I am definitely 100%. The one that I was having to email Becky about is the Ricky Simons panel.
And he was the voice of Invader Zim.
Gur. From Invader Zim. But it is scheduled to finish in the middle of the wrestling panel.
Oh, that's interesting.
I would much rather do the wrestling panel. Because I know more about wrestling than I do Invader Zim. The other panels that I have that I can announce here for the first time, I will be helming the Tom King Q&A at 2:30 p.m. in room 144 on Saturday. And I will also be helming the Kevin Eastman panel at 4 p.m. in room 146 on Saturday. So
that one's nice.
Four panels on Saturday.
I am... The Kevin Eastman one, I think, will be your biggest one outside the wrestling.
Yeah.
Because you got one of the two guys who created Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is obviously one, when you look at it, has the most cast people at the convention this upcoming weekend.
Yes.
Because you got 4 voice actors. You have the original live-action April O'Neil. You have the guy who's playing Shredder in the second movie that's coming out next year. And then you got the co-creator. TMNT this year is essentially last year's Walking Dead, where you had like 11 people from Walking Dead last year.
Yeah.
So that one I see being a very big one. And of course, speaking about very big, let's just get right to him. We've been pushing him back and pushing him back, but you're going to have William Shatner there.
Yes.
And I am meeting William Shatner. I did pay the money to get his photo op for the Friday night. I can't wait. I'm excited. My mom's going to meet him, so that she's actually excited for that too. We don't need to say much about William Shatner, except for the fact it's William Shatner. Because everyone loves him. And you have a story. You told me this last year. And it was a great story.
Oh, is this the one about when I worked with him before?
Yes.
Yeah. I was doing some convention security for him. And we were chatting to him a little bit backstage. Or more accurately, he started talking to us. Which was really cool. Because we didn't want to disturb him, but he started chatting to us. And me being me, I couldn't really bite my tongue. And I'm like, look, you get us to do some fairly crazy things. Like, you make us drive you 5 feet from the back door on a golf cart or whatever, right? And he's like, well, yeah. And I'm like, why? And he's like, because these people aren't coming to see William Shatner. And I'm like, what? And he's like, they're not coming to see William Shatner. They're coming to see William effing Shatner. You know what I mean? And I was like, okay, you get it. I see what you're doing. Like, he's playing up the he's William Shatner. So, yeah.
And George Takei is going to be there too, and I'm honestly very surprised that the two of them are not doing anything together that weekend. So,
last time we saw George Takei and William Shatner in the same room was the roast, wasn't it?
I believe so, the Comedy Central roast, yeah.
And that was the time that was like, I can finally say F you and the horse you rode in on.
Yeah. I never got to fully see the full thing, so I don't know what...
At least see the George Takei part.
Yeah, because I haven't seen the full thing, unfortunately, but I want to.
Yeah. Well,
but honestly, because it's Star... Yeah, because honestly, it's like, when you think Star Trek, I mean, you think those two, you think the late Leonard Nimoy.
James Doohan, rest in peace.
Yeah, the woman who played Uhura, who's actually still doing conventions. Yeah, she's still doing conventions. So you have a lot of them.
I threw someone off the other day because they were like, when I say Walter Koenig to you, you think Chekhov, right? I'm like, no, I think Bester from Babylon 5. They were like, what? So.
Yeah, but so I'm still intrigued that the two of them aren't doing anything though, because especially for like a Star Trek thing together.
Yeah.
But you know, it is what it is. At least they're gonna be there, which is a great thing. And you know, it'll be great to meet them.
Oh yeah.
Let's see here. This one, I'm just throwing this out there because my mom would find it great. But Jim Cummings is going to be there, who did Winnie the Pooh and Tigger, and this one's for me, Darkwing Duck.
I love way more than just that, man. Like,
oh, I know he's done way more than just that, but I know he's done way much more than that. But like, my mom has this major thing for Disney, especially for Winnie the Pooh and Tigger. And then, like, for me as a kid, I grew up with Darkwing Duck on in the afternoons. You know, because I mean, he's also says here he's performed numerous animated Disney and DreamWorks movies, including Aladdin, Lion King, Ants, Road to El Dorado, Shrek, Princess and the Frog. He's done Elder Scrolls Skyrim, Mass Effect 2, Star Wars: The Old Republic, World of Warcraft, Mists of Pandaria, and Splatterhouse for video games.
Yeah, like he's just done so much stuff. I mean,
yeah, Dr. Robotnik.
Responsible for my internet nickname.
Oh, Bob the Ninja Goldfish.
Yeah, because he played Bob the Killer Goldfish on Earthworm Jim.
That's interesting. I never knew that. I mean, I've always been curious about why you had the nickname for online.
Oh, it's a much longer story than that, but like that's part of it. Like he was Monterey Jack, and he was El Capitan and DuckTales. He's done so much stuff.
Yeah, if we go up to IMDb, the list would just be endless for him.
Yeah.
But let's see here. So it's here. Wow.
It's a really good
lineup.
Really good year
for AwesomeCon.
AwesomeCon, if you're a voice actor fan.
Well, I think not just a voice actor fan, but I just think a fan in general, because
I'm talking because we're talking about Jim Cummings right
now.
Like, it's a good year. The only thing I think they're missing is Maurice and maybe Billy. Like, Maurice LaMarche, Billy, and maybe John DiMaggio. You'd have all the big name voice actors. You'd need Tress MacNeille, but she never really goes to conventions.
Well, I know that Maurice did last year's AwesomeCon.
She was there last year,
yeah.
But I wish she was there this year too.
And then if you had Tress, I believe that would have given you all three Animaniacs.
All three Animaniacs, yep.
Yep. And then, you know, and of course, I've been pushing this one back on purpose. I've been kind of pushing them to the back. And this is the one for me. This is my childhood right here. You got 4 Mighty Morphin Power Rangers showing up. You have Austin St. John, who's making his return to conventions and stuff like that because he'd spent time overseas in the military as, I believe, as an EMT. So he went from being, so he literally went from being a kid's hero as a Power Ranger to a legitimate hero saving lives overseas as part of the military. And I think that is really cool. And then you're also going to have David Yost, who is the original Blue Ranger, Walter Jones, the original Black Ranger, and Karen Ashley, who ended up being the second Yellow Ranger in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers after Austin, Walter, and Tai Trang left the show. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I know cannot say who, but I'm in the works of getting an interview with one of them for the AwesomeCon coverage for the Xperience. Can't say who, but I'm working on it. Especially don't want to say who if it falls through. So, but I am working on one of them. I know I got 2 of the cosplay guests. I'm trying to work out, and then here's the other thing. On the website, they show all these
the
comic book artists and writers.
Well, that's because the ones being shown
are the major ones.
Guests,
but
which means no, not at all. Because you have people like J.G. Jones and stuff that are going to be sat in Artist Alley. The ones that are being shown on the website are the guests, which means they've either done something for the show, like art or promotional or stuff like that, or organised stuff, or they've had their tickets paid for or whatever. There is an Artist Alley, which is a whole nother kettle of fish.
And some of the names that are in that Artist Alley, though, I do want to give a shout out to, because some of them are actually friends of ours. And, Chris Flick, Kathleen Brenowitz.
Chris Otto.
Yep, Mark Adona.
I'm actually going to be at Chris Otto's table most of the time when I'm not at panels and stuff, working my butt off.
Yeah, we also got Mark Adona, who's going to be there. Toxic Apple. And actually, good friends of ours are actually going to have a film screening on the Saturday from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., and that's of Dyson Men.
Yes.
That, and I am definitely going to be at that screening because I've been wanting to see that film for a while now, since I heard about it back in August last year.
It's a very interesting movie. I'll be interested to hear your opinions.
Yes, that's why I want to see it. I want to see it because, also because I make films too, which I only have one film out now.
You don't make films.
Well, I'm working on another one right now.
Not the semantics or anything, but
yeah. Gotta always bust my balls, don't you?
You gotta get it in somewhere, right?
Exactly, but it's perfectly fine. But, it's a movie that when I heard about it from Kelly and Seth that drew my interest. I want to see about it, and check it out. And then, who else is it? Oh, and then, friend of mine, Liz, her group Studio Cosplay is going to be there. Studio Cosplay is that group who sets up at conventions now, and for people who are cosplayers and they have to do a quick fix on their outfit or something like that, can go to Studio Cosplay, get like a quick little stitch up on their cosplay.
Quite a lot of people doing that now.
Yeah. But I'm friends with Liz, so I wanted to give Liz the proper shout out for Studio Cosplay and say, hey, go do your thing. So, and it's a nice thing to do too. I mean, we see how many people show up in cosplay, and then all of a sudden they go to like a costume contest or something like that, and then their thing breaks or something falls apart. So having something like Studio Cosplay is a good thing to have, especially if you forgot like that one little thing at home that could help fix it.
Yeah, it's something that like I said, it's something a lot of people are doing now, but not a lot of people know that it's available, So it's good to get the word out there.
Yeah, and for those who do want to go to Studio Cosplay to get help on their cosplays, there will be Booth 34 in the exhibitor alley. So Booth 34 is Studio Cosplay. If you need help on your cosplays, go right to them. Liz, you owe me for that plug?
Yeah.
Probably not. It's like, probably not, but, who cares? But going on, and I'm actually going to try to get to this page while we talk about it, is, policies for the convention. Now, we might as well just throw it out there. There are policies for any and every convention that you go to. And the most important one, as like we like to call it, and we talked about this on Free Comic Book Day, is the don't be a jerk policy.
I wouldn't call that.
Yeah, well, that's why we talked about it more than any other policy. Because it is the most important one, because
it is the most controversial one. It is not necessarily the most important one. In my opinion, the most important one is the weapons policy that is preventing people from bringing real guns into the convention.
Yes, and which I fully support the weapons one, because I would not want somebody to walk in with a fully loaded gun or a real-life samurai sword that could potentially harm somebody. That would not be fun at all. But, and then let's see here. Photo ops are going to be very fast this year.
Photo ops are always quick.
Photo ops are always quick, but I think with the fact that now that you have 3 photo op booths. You're doing 3 photo op sessions at a time now. They're just going to be.
I don't know. I don't like the photo op stuff. I like that they offer it. I just hate the fact that it's like, come here, Flash, go.
3 photo ops. I have the Seth Rollins, the Shatner, and the Power Ranger group photo op. So I have those.
And you'll get to spend approximately 2 seconds with all of them.
Yeah. Unless they try to make it personal with you, which they may try not to. You never know.
Yeah.
But going
go back to your original point. I derailed that.
We derail everything so slightly.
I do. I tend to derail things, close down the rail company, and uproot the tracks for scrap.
Yeah. Speaking about derailing, that is the point of your podcast with 3 drinks, 2 guys, 1 topic, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. It's just
where we drink a lot. There's 2 of us, and we completely fail to stay on topic. But we haven't done much. We didn't do much drinking this season because Jordan was at college for a lot of it. We're having to deal with Jordan going through schooling. So we just recorded our season finale 2 weeks ago, and Jordan was doing finals, and now he's on break, so he's very, very busy working to make money for next year at school. So
yeah. Gotta love schooling nowadays, but but let's see here. But going back to the anti-harassment policy, okay, first off, the policy is put in there to protect AwesomeCon. We know that. But at the same time,
Taylor's Rule number 47, CYA.
Yeah, and here's the thing. People, it's like, we're here to have fun. That's the point of going to a convention. It's there to have fun. Nobody in any way should be getting harassed at any case or point in time during the convention.
Correct.
Yeah, and it's like, we talked about this on Free Comic Book Day when the policy had just recently came out. And perfect example is that I will ask cosplayers if they want if I could take their picture.
Always ask.
But here's the thing: you ask them. You just don't go, "Oh, look, pictures."
Yes.
You go, "Hey, can I please?"
They're expecting to have their picture taken, but they're also expecting to be asked first.
Yeah, and here's the other thing: if they do a pose, and you go, the picture I'm taking right here doesn't really work with the pose that they're doing. At least say to them, hey, you're doing a really nice pose. I'm going to change my position real quick because I want to get a better angle of the picture. And I think that's very important for the people who are having their pictures taken. It's like, let's just show each other the respect that we deserve because we're all there to have the same thing, and that's fun. Yeah. And it's like, don't be a jerk. And that's like the biggest thing that should be said. It's just irritating sometimes when you go to a convention. You just have those people.
Here's the long and the short of it. Neither Michael or I can talk about every angle of this policy because neither is female. But I want you to know that, and this is going to sound ridiculous, it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. It doesn't matter if you're red, blue, black, green, or white, right? Everyone deserves to be treated with respect, costume or otherwise. So you can sum up every anti-harassment policy ever as don't be a dick, right? The Will Wheaton rule. Unfortunately, there are some low-life scumbags out there that don't live by those rules. So every convention is having to get to this point where they're putting these policies into effect. And yes, I do understand that some of our number in the nerd community aren't exactly Mr. Sophistication and social breeding, right? So I'm not saying that when someone does something wrong, cut their hands off. I'm saying it's the people that after you explain to them, please don't do that still do it, then you cut their hands off.
Yeah, and it's not that hard to show people respect. I mean, especially the fact that you said that the table that you're going to be at, that's over by the kids zone, if I remember right.
Yes.
Especially with that. I mean, this is This isn't just a convention for adults. This is a family convention. You are going to have kids there, and
well, here's a really good story. Baltimore Comic Con last year, we in the kids zone, there were people there handing out flyers for a strip club in the kids zone.
People can't see it right now, but I am currently face palming that right now.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. This is a family event. We're all there to have fun. I actually remember, I call this the parenting done right one. Parents were there. They were dressed up as the Foot Clan. Their daughter was dressed as a Ninja Turtle, and their son was dressed as the Shredder. And I thought that was really cool. And also, keep in mind, just like with cosplayers, if you see cute little kids dressed up in cosplay, ask the parents. Ask the parents for permission. Do not just... Yeah.
You should always... Yeah, any... And this is really, really sad, but any child under the age of 12, you have to...
Yes, it should be done. It could be like the cutest little thing you've seen, but you definitely have to ask, because that's...
Like, we do... At Chris' table, we end up doing, like, free sketches for kids under the age of 12, right? And what we like to do is like to take a picture of the kid with the picture to put it on Chris's website. And we actually have to ask the parents, look, is this okay? Because we're going to be putting your kid on the internet. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's imagine asking for permission at a convention just to take a picture of the kid to put it up on Facebook with a print. Imagine trying to get a kid in your film. There's a lot of paperwork involved with that one.
Well, I wouldn't try.
No, well, I unfortunately had to for cosplay life. It was luckily we only had to deal with one kid, and there was a specific reason why we had to have the kid in the scene. So we had to go through the paperwork to do it. Yeah, but that's just how it works sometimes. But still, show respect.
And here's another thing, right? It's rant time. If you see a cosplayer with a superiority complex, give him a smack. A verbal smack, but a smack. I'm tired of hearing about costumers going, well, my Batman costume's better than your Batman costume. Oh, I want to hit you.
You know what? I just want to show up wearing a Batman mask and a Batman t-shirt.
Well, this is the story I was about to tell at TauRadio Comic Con last weekend. There was, and this kid couldn't have been more than like 4 years old. There was a little kid running around wearing a Batman t-shirt, and it was one of those t-shirts that has like the Velcro capes on it. And and he had like a Halloween mask on. And this one cosplayer, don't know who it was, never got the bloke, the bloke's name. He was dressed up as like some weird anime thing. Was like, it's not a very good costume. And I walked over and I was like, listen here, you little dipshit. That kid turns around and says he's Batman.
He's Batman.
Batman. Cosplaying can be anything from putting on that to these elaborate, like, Transformer costumes. It's all cosplay. If the kid or the person inside is having fun, that's costuming. And I was like, if I hear you do that one more time, I will personally make sure you can never be Batman.
Yeah, because, I mean...
Like, the dude was just white.
Yeah, because I remember we had that conversation at Free Comic Book Day, too, because we saw a lot of kids there, you know, they had capes with, like, their first initial on the back. You know, when you're a kid, your imagination is so open and wild, and, you know, if the kid believes he's Batman, you let him believe he's Batman, because he's having fun.
Absolutely let him believe he's Batman.
Because he's having fun. You know, if that little girl thinks she's Wonder Woman, let her be Wonder Woman. She's having fun. And that's the point. You want to have fun. And that's what AwesomeCon's about. AwesomeCon is having fun. And, I just can never understand why people have to go to that level.
And poop on someone else's fun.
Yeah, especially when it comes to a little kid. Especially when it comes to a little kid, I can never understand that. So.
It's one of the reasons I've been told I should never, ever, 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 ever go to Dragon Con. Because I would want to pump kick like many, many people. Be like Shameless just coming out and like bro kick.
I could actually see you do a bro kick would be quite amazing, actually.
Just like distinctly less stupid hair.
Yeah, but we'll talk more about Sheamus' stupid hairstyle during the pro wrestling panel.
Yes, we probably will.
Oh no, probably? I know it will. Just to make priority, I will ask that question.
Okay. Fair enough.
I'll be like your ringside reporter going, "So Ben, what do you think of Sheamus' stupid hair?"
Stupid. Next question. So, since we didn't do this at the beginning of the show, the Awesome Con is going on May 29th to the 31st at the Washington Convention Center in DC. Like, it's really hard to miss.
Metro's right there.
So, yeah, it's like a block and a half away.
No, actually, Metro drops you off at the convention center. But what it is that because the convention center is so big, you have to walk a block to the actual entrance of the convention center.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, because it drops you off at like one of the parking lots or cargo bays of the convention center.
Right, yeah.
And then you just walk down the block and then you just go right into the main entrance. So, yeah, I enjoy that walk. Not really, but I enjoy it.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting. It's going to be an interesting weekend.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, I've already got my schedule set up for the convention. Oh, and as I bring out the thing, I just remembered there's one thing we have not talked about that we should plug.
Uh-oh.
Let me bring up the schedule real quick.
Okay.
Because on the Sunday, our good friend, Patrick Michael Strange, has the Kozlov panel, Cosplay and Community Service, presented by Kozlov from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. at room 102A. And, we just need to give a shout out to Patrick and the guys at Kozlov. Obviously, you're a part of Kozlov yourself.
Yes, I am.
And so we want to...
Because I don't think I'm on that one, so...
Yes. I just noticed it just now because I pulled out my schedule for the weekend. And I was like, oh wait, we need to talk about Kozlov. So Patrick, you owe us.
Yeah.
Especially the fact that...
You don't owe us, Patrick. You don't owe us. Yeah, you owe us.
It's just, we're just going to shout out for you. We do shout outs for almost everyone that we try to do. So
yeah. It's hard because especially with a local convention, we know so many people at the convention. I do want to give a big shout out to the people that are actually going to be sitting next to us in the exhibit hall. My good friends Amy and Emmy, who are in charge of the podcast The Slayerettes. They do a sort of a Buffy retrospective thing, and they go over all the episodes, and they've been friends with Chris and I since the first Awesome Con, and it's been a lot of fun seeing. And this year they decided to get a table, and they actually requested to sit next to Chris and I, so it's gonna be a lot of fun.
And this will be my second Awesome Con.
Yep.
This time will be a little different for me than last year. This time I don't have a hotel room to stay at. I may just do the trip back and forth between home and the convention every day.
Yep.
Well, I did the hotel last year because I did the after party on the Friday night.
So let's talk about that a little bit. Because there's an after party this year as well.
Yeah, it's being hosted by Anna Mia and Ming Chen from Comic Book Men.
Yep.
And it's hosted by Sonic Boombox. And the founder of Sonic Boombox, John Haniel, it's also his birthday that weekend. So it's kind of like a birthday after party thing for AwesomeCon. I did the after party last year, and
you didn't feel it was worth it.
And this is nothing against John, nothing against Sonic Boombox. I did not enjoy it because all it really is that you're in a club, and if you're not into drinking and you're not into the club scene like I am, it's not worth going to.
Yeah, I'm not big into the club scene. I've never been one. Now,
and like I said, it's nothing against John. It's nothing against Sonic Boombox. There will be many people who will go, but to me, it's not worth going to. But to somebody who is into that type of scene, go to it. You will have fun. But the one thing I wish they brought back this year, which I did have a lot of fun at last year, which is why I had the hotel room, was the awesome concert with Andrew WK.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed that last year, and I really wish the concert came back this year. But
yeah, it's weird. Andrew WK was a weird one last year because everyone's like, "Why is Andrew WK here?"
Because he's here to party. That's why.
Here to party hard.
Yeah, and we party hard. We did, man. It was awesome. And then I got to meet him, and it was great. So.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good show. I mean, it's going to be fun this weekend.
Yeah, I cannot wait. I cannot wait to have fun at Awesome.
Next weekend from when we're recording, anyway.
Yeah, we're recording on May 23rd. This will most likely get posted. Yeah, this will most likely get posted on the 24th or the 25th, depending on how fast I can get everything edited and put up on YouTube and over to our radio network, which is TauRadio.
TauRadio.
TauRadio. I always get it mixed up.
Yep.
But, yep, so for TauRadio, we'll get it up there as soon as we can. YouTube will take me a little longer because I actually make a visual display, so when you're watching, you can see the graphics of like the celebrities that we're talking about and the events that we're talking about.
Banana, hippopotamus, pineapple, grapefruit, explosion, small marsupial, and zombie sex.
I could do all of them, but I'm not doing the zombie sex.
No? Okay.
I will put up the Xperience logo instead. But yeah, so the video one will take a little longer for me to put up on YouTube because I gotta not only edit the audio, but then I gotta edit the visuals because I gotta time it just right on everything, which is always a challenge, but I'm up for the challenge. So, but you know what? I think we've covered a lot about this convention. I mean, the number one thing that we both agree on, it's going to be a fun weekend on the 29th or the 31st.
I agree it should be a fun weekend, unless something massive gets in the way.
I think the only thing that was quote-unquote bad last year was the lines to get in on Saturday.
See, I don't have to deal with those because I have exhibitor badges,
and I have VIP because I got the VIP stuff this year. Well, last year I didn't have problems with getting in last year either, even though I had just the regular 3-day Geekend pass, because they saw that I already had my pass, so they just let me in.
Yeah.
And then, but it was the people who hadn't bought any. They had to wait in line for like hours on end to get in because
Well, that's the life of people that don't pre-order.
Yeah.
And
apparently the pre-order line was pretty bad too. I heard.
Well, I mean, no, because you already have your ticket.
No, I'm talking about the people who only pre-ordered Saturday.
But you could still have them sent to you if you ordered them.
No. This year was the first time they mailed passes. And yes, this year is the first year they mailed passes.
That can't be right, because we got our passes mailed to us for the first year.
Yeah, because this last year I had to pick up my pass in line. This year they sent me
because we were exhibitors.
I think that might be because you're exhibitors.
Okay.
They might have sent exhibitors and artists their stuff first, and then everyone else who was just an attendee had to pick up. Whereas this year, it's the first time they mailed out only 3 days in VIPs. So if you're only doing an individual badge, you still have to pick it up. I have my badges. Ben, you saw my badges on my Facebook page.
On the old Facebooks.
You gotta admit that Seth Rollins badge looks pretty good.
Yeah. See, I don't even process that he's at the show at this point. Because
it's a 3-hour visit. Yeah, he's just visiting.
He's not at the show. He might as well be filming Raw. It's 3 hours.
Yeah.
And I'm not knocking the show for getting him for as long as they have, but it's
probably just whatever WWE said, because they may have to travel to the next town. I mean, if AwesomeCon was near the end of June, like say the last weekend of June, we could potentially have him for the entire day, because Monday Night Raw is June 29th at the Verizon Center.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you don't know what it could be. You don't know where he has to be for a match or something.
Yeah.
Because they are doing live events on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They always do.
Yeah, but still, you can also just go, okay, Seth's not going to appear because this convention's paying me a lot of goddamn money.
Yeah. But it is what it is. At least we're getting him for the hours that we get him, and got to make the best of it.
Yeah, and again, it's a minor quibble, because it's great that they're even here. It's great that we're living in a day and age where wrestlers can appear at conventions, you know?
Yeah, because they usually, back then, I don't think they ever did, unless it was a wrestling-specific
pretty much.
Event.
Back in the day.
But we're gonna start doing our wrap-up now.
Yep.
And we just want to throw out some shout-outs to the people at Studio Cosplay who'll be at Booth 34. Kathleen Brenowitz.
You're already giving them a shout-out, man.
Yeah, I'm giving them one more shout-out before we.
Then give it to them in your own wrap-up and stop wasting my damn time.
Fine then. Just for the record, Wes Johnson will be just wandering the floor. He doesn't have a table, so.
Yeah, and my friend Jim's going to be there, and my buddy Dave, and there's going to be this other guy, Matt's going to be there. And, see, dude, if we want to name all the people we knew that were going to be at AwesomeCon, we'd be here till AwesomeCon.
I'm listing the ones that are actually going to have something that's goable too. Like Wes Johnson.
Floor. What's going?
But he has a panel. He has a panel. Wes Johnson has a panel. I want to promote the man's panel.
Then you should have done that in the panel section, dingus.
I did. I'm giving him a second plug.
No, you're not. Move on.
Wes, I got your plug out there for you twice. But yeah, Ben, this has been fun. I cannot wait for next weekend. We finally get to hang out again.
Yeah. It's been 2 weeks since we got to hang out. Since
up to this podcast, yes, it has been 2 weeks, maybe 3.
Yeah, it'd be 3 by then.
We got together. We got together May 2nd.
Free Comic Book Day, which was a lot of fun.
Yes, that was so, and I love the fact that the sunburn has kind of gone, but it's sort of hasn't gone.
Yeah, I'm still dealing with peeling skin and shit.
Oh, I'm past this peeling skin part. I'm just trying to get my arms to be pale again.
Yeah. I don't want my arms to be pale again, but I don't want to have to deal with being outside.
Well, luckily this time we won't have to be dealing with being outside.
Because the weird thing is, in my area, there are a lot of like families that live like near me. So me being outside is like a bad thing because I'll just start swearing in front of children. And yes, in a day and age like today where that might not mean a whole lot of things, I kind of try to be principled about it. But...
No one's perfect.
I'm pretty damn close.
All right, Ben. So, real quick, where can they catch you up on Twitter?
All right, on Twitter, I'm at Bob T Goldfish. You can catch my video game streams that I do at twitch.tv/Bob the Ninja Goldfish, which is just me streaming a bunch of like gameplay with my friends, and sometimes I play solo. You can catch the TauRadio podcast I do with Jordan, Mr. NNJ Johnson. It's called 3 Drinks, 2 Guys, 1 Topic, which I spoke about earlier, which is we drink a lot, there's 2 of us, and we fail to stay on topic. At facebook.com, 3 Drinks, 2 Guys, 1 Topic, and that's the number 3, the number 2, and the number 1. And before Michael starts giggling at the phrase I said number 2, I'm going to also plug my other podcast called Pop Culture Uncovered Declassified, which is part of the Pop Culture Uncovered Network. And that's a lot more of a serious interview style show where we get on people from the industry and we rap with them. We've recently had Robert Shearman on, who was a writer on the first season of Doctor Who and has also written many, many awesome plays and books. And we just posted an interview with Rags Morales, the artist of DC Comics fame. So yeah, that's where to find me. You can find me on many, many panels at AwesomeCon on Saturday. Most importantly of all, 12:30, room 103, Pro Wrestling Today, Awesome Mania 3.
And I will also be there. I won't be on the panel, but I will be there.
You'll be on the panel in spirit, Michael.
Yeah, why don't you just like name me like the official like panels or panel table side ring announcer or something like that?
It's weird because one of our panelists is actually the guy who runs the convention, Ben Penrod. So last year we had to have like a backup panelist in case Ben couldn't make it. This year he's been like, I don't care what's going on. I don't give a crap if the convention center is burning down. I'm making it to that panel.
Yeah, because I actually want to hear Ben's take, especially because he gets to go to NXT.
Yeah, Ben lives in Florida.
Yeah, he gets to go to NXT.
Ben is gonna have some stories about the last couple of NXT tapings.
Yeah, I know they just did their most recent one on Thursday.
And not good ones. So, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, thank you for having me on, man.
Yeah, no problem, man. You know you're always welcome on this show.
Don't say that. I'll be in every show.
You probably.
I'll be like, yo, I'm here. And you'll be like, God damn it. Again.
But we know every time we have you on, though, it'll be a good time. So.
Well, good.
You're just like, yeah, you're good. Why not?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah, and someone like me who's just starting out could always use someone that's just as good as you. So.
Well, the thing is it's not about just starting out. I mean, some people are they can talk, and I can talk. You know, I've always been able to rap. Anyway, let's wrap up.
Yep.
Because we've been trying to do that for like 5 minutes now. So, thank you for having me.
Yeah, we always try to do that.
Thank you for having me, Michael. This has been the AwesomeCon preview with myself, Ben. I have been absolutely honoured to guest. Thank you for having me on, Michael. And it's over to you.
And thank you, Ben. And once again, AwesomeCon will be May 29th through 31st at the DC Convention Center. And once again, this is the Xperience brought to you by Spartacon, which is August 15th and 16th at the Regency Furniture Stadium in Waldorf, Maryland. Come see stars from the show like Spartacus, like Manu Bennett, Cynthia Day Robinson, Dan Farragle, and many others from the show. For more information, please visit redserpents.com, or if you are going to AwesomeCon May 29th through 31st, please go to Panel 46 and meet with the people who are running Spartacon. And until next time, keep on having fun.